Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Marlo and I'm a singer-songwriter and I have my own music on Spotify. So this year we're going to look through my Spotify Wrapped as an artist and as just a regular person who listens on Spotify. So we're going to go through my Artist Wrapped first. And it's really cool to see because I've only been doing music on Spotify or any streaming platform for 2 years. So this is the second year I've been able to see some stats. So let's get started. That is the cover art of my latest song, Cities. It was released mid-year in August. It says right here, August 27th. Total streams, 33,000, which is amazing. I think that's the best one of my songs has ever done, and I'm so excited for those results. And of course, the Spotify Wrapped only goes from, I think, January 1st through October 31st. So Cities hasn't even had a full year. Now, last year, I think I had 70 some countries that my music overall was hitting. And this year it's 83, as you can see, which is super cool. And also added to over 12,000 playlists. And I know those all can't be my own. So I know I have a lot of new people listening to my music, which is so exciting. I just love looking at the data and having this data available for everyone to look at their past year. I think is so cool. Just that tailoring of music tastes to the listener, I think is a great strategy by Spotify. And that's why I prefer Spotify as my listening streaming platform. I don't know what happened for everyone to be listening to my music on September 21st. It's a few weeks after Cities was released maybe, but it's really cool. Now this is my favorite screen here because I love seeing my growth from year to year. And I'm so excited about these numbers because in 2019, I had a pretty good slow growth and then a build at the end with my EP, Broken Lyrics. And then Cities was able to take that to a new level, reaching some new listeners and things like that. It says I made some really big gains, and that's true. One of my personal goals was to increase followers. And that's something that I've turned to YouTube and some other different creators on how independent artists should be marketing to people. And I've found some success with Facebook ads. I'm not sure I'm doing it all right, but that is something I played around with this year and the results are there. Got my followers, directly asked people to follow. That's a great number, great percentage. 94 people listening at the same time in one day is so bizarre to me. I cannot even picture that. That's such a big number. And that's a little bit right after Cities came out, so that's probably why. People were listening to my new song, Cities, and maybe a little bit of I'm Lost, which is on a pretty big playlist as well. This statistic here is so cool because Spotify's not giving you these kind of metrics from a day-to-day as an artist. The repetition is such a cool thing. Like, I sometimes play my own stuff on repeat, like my mom will play stuff on repeat, but me and my mom, we don't make up 2,000 people. So this is really cool to see. And I'm really proud of that people want to listen to my stuff and they want to do it over and over. So I'm sure part of that happened with the new release of Cities as well. But of course, there are some people who still are diehard fans of my first EP, which is so cool. My song's been shared hundreds of times, which is crazy. And Cities was shared the most, which totally makes sense because it came out in the middle of this year. People stream my music for 14,000 hours, and that's so crazy. Yeah, they have the math here. That's like someone's been listening for almost a full year. That's another metric. That's why I like having these. I can't imagine all these people doing that. And it's a fun way to reflect back on my music career to see how far I've come. I want to say thank you too to everyone for listening. I really appreciate it, and it's just crazy that I was even able to produce music this year with the COVID lockdown and everything like that. Here's my final stats here. 300,000 streams this year, 14,000 hours, 14 6K listeners, and 86 countries. So I can put on screen somewhere here as well my comparison from 2019, and it's definitely different. There's definitely been growth, as that other growth percentage chart showed, and it's just so cool. I know some artists aren't a fan of like Spotify Wrapped or just any kind of statistics in general, but I love this piece of content. Spotify is giving you a wrap up of some of your most important statistics of the year. It's done and ready for you to share. It's shareable content. And it proves to yourself and it proves to your fans or friends that you're doing a great job, and you want to be able to celebrate yourself and prove to others that, like, I've grown and I want to share this, and I think it's a moment of celebration. So even though it's just numbers that don't really show the stories of behind why people are listening, or where people are listening and how they got the song, and all of those like minor details that really make it interesting as to like why people are fans of you, I think the two can coexist, and you have your statistics and you have your stories from your fans, and it's just a moment of celebration as the year comes to an end. And I love seeing other people's Wrapped statistics, whether that's other small artists, other big artists, or just people who listen to Spotify. I love seeing those lists too, which leads me to my next thing, which I'm going to pull up my Spotify Wrapped as a personal account to go through those, and I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm really excited. Going through my playlist, I'm expecting my own music. I'm expecting a lot of Lady Gaga because she released Chromatica this year, and I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan. I've been listening to a lot of songs revolving around cities as a theme. So I have a big cities playlist where I have a lot of pop music that mentions cities or describes cities in some way. So I'm sure all of those songs are going to be on this major playlist as well. So let's get started. My top 5 songs are all my own, and that's because I listen to my songs casually from time to time. I listen to my songs on repeat sometimes when I want to level up for a specific statistic. If I'm really close to 30,000, for example, and I need 20 more streams, I'm listening to that song to get it to that next milestone. So those are all at the top. And it also means that I have good taste and I'm my own biggest fan. And then I do have Lady Gaga. I have St. Vincent, and notice it says New York. That's a cities themed song. By the way, my cities playlist is called These Are the Cities. I will pop it up somewhere here, and you should go listen to that because it compiles all the inspiration of different songs that cities mentions about cities. It's a very meta, expanding the universe of cities kind of playlist, and I think you'll really like it if you like my music. So 1975, that's not a surprise. I love them. I saw their live show at the end of 2019. A lot of Phoebe Bridgers. Garden Song is my go-to Phoebe Bridgers song when I am sad and I'm trying to work through something. Green Light with Lord, mentioned cities. My own song, Physical by Dua Lipa, one of my favorite songs to dance to or to do a workout to. More 1975, more Lord, and we have Katie Crone here. Katie Crone is an independent artist. She's based in LA, and she's fantastic. You should definitely check her stuff out. Bleachers, of course, all top pop albums and artists. We have Rina Sawayama. She's someone I discovered this year or early last year, and I'm obsessed with her album Sawayama, and she is slowly starting to build up a lot of hype, and I'm really excited about her, and she has great music. And if you don't listen to her and you like pop, and she draws a lot of 2000s pop influences, you should definitely check her out as well. More Phoebe Bridgers, more Lady Gaga, more 1975, and we have another Troye Sivan. Troye Sivan mentioned cities in that song. We have Berlin, which is obviously a city song, and that's by Corey Kilgannon, who I absolutely love. I was able to see him live in 2019 in a really small house show, and he is just a fantastic writer and a fantastic guitar player and musician and just a wonderful artist. More Lady Gaga, of course. We have Mac Miller, we have Troye Sivan, more Lady Gaga, Florence and the Machine. We have a lot of these city songs coming into play here, like How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, Cornelia Street. They mention, or she mentions cities in that song as well. We have more Phoebe Bridgers. We have Harry Styles. This is the first appearance of Harry Styles, which is really interesting because I was super obsessed with him in 2019. And I think that a little bit of that bled over into 2020 as well. Any other surprises here? Not really. We have a Mitski song, which includes a cities. I love that song, a cities reference as well. We have some folklore from Taylor Swift. That was her new release this year. So you can see that we have a lot of pop influences. That's what I really listen to. Indie pop, pop. I'm surprised I don't have any, at least so far, musical theater kind of threads through this as well, because I love listening to like soundtracks from musical theater. I've been obsessed with Waitress mostly in 2019, but that bled into this year as well. and we end out with a Lady Gaga song. So it's pretty consistent all the way through. We have our cities references, we have Marlo, we have Lady Gaga, we have big pop names and some indie pop names as well. I know that sometimes pop music is looked down upon or made fun of, and I'm not a fan of that narrative because I think that pop music really can bring something special to the table. For example, just two major voices in pop like Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift, for example, extremely different styles. We have someone like Rina Sawayama who approaches that by grabbing those influences from the 2000s or even the 90s and takes it in like a new metal direction. And then we have someone classic like Carly Rae Jepsen, who is like very much like sugar sweet cotton candy pop. But I think there's merit to that as well. I think it's very hard to write pop songs. I think people discredit that work. And I don't think there's anything vapid, wrong, stupid, or like not intelligent enough to understand more complex types of music, because I believe that pop music is very complex. We have a lot of different approaches to it, like I said, and a lot of smaller artists who come to the scene and are able to express their feelings through pop. And I think you should never be ashamed to love pop music, even if it's like radio top 40 or anything that people like really are trending or loving, because you see that that's something that grabs people's attention, and ultimately that forms the musical waves of what culture listens to, that zeitgeist. So I know a lot of people have been wrapped up in like TikTok songs lately, which is ultimately like a new style of pop, bringing that back into the popular sphere. So never be ashamed of what you like to listen to. And I love seeing everyone else's Spotify Wrapped. So I'm gonna put on my story, like I'm gonna share my list if anyone's excited about that, seeing mine. And then I'm gonna ask people on my Instagram story to send me songs off of their Top Songs 2020 list as well, because I'm really curious and I want to build my own playlist of what everyone was listening to in 2020. So you can follow me on Instagram at Listen to Marlo, and at the time this video is up, I'm going to be asking for everyone's recommendations from their top 2020 list. So thank you so much for watching my video. My name's Marlo, one more time. You can follow me on Instagram at Listen to Marlo. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and support my music streaming on all platforms. My EP is called Broken Lyrics, and my newest single is called Cities. Thanks so much.